So first of all, before we start with CRM, I will shortly show you a couple of new things in the client zone. How does it serve to partners? Then I will pass the word to Adam. Adam will be talking about the features, functions, and a lot about the demo data. What are the stories in the demo data, which also serves as a default data, so important thing for the implementation too. Once this is done, I will take the stage again, and I will be talking about how to configure B2B CRM and about some challenges in implementation and upgrade, which needs to be covered in planning of the professional services. Right, so let's get started. And let's get started with the client zone. Let me log into the client zone as a partner. So now I'm logged to the client zone as a partner. And some of you maybe know this view. What it does is that it is listing you your accounts here. And you can actually have a detailed look on, let's say, the products, download the packages, do some financial operations, and so on and so forth on behalf of partner, and seeing what all the accounts you have here. That's what is here since, I think, spring. What we added right now is the deal registration. So it means this form on top. And some of you may remember the old deal registration deal. It is much simpler. You will just write here that the name of the client, my client one, you put there some email address, ideally with client domain and from what country this is, and submit. That's it. That's it. It goes directly to our CRM. It is received by the sales team or the channel sales team, and your channel manager will typically go back to you, discuss the details about the opportunity, make the quote, and whatever. And from this point of view, you can also see the this account here on the account list. However, they are not for the details because there is no business yet to be served. We added one little other thing, and this is the button here in the right corner, is this chat button. But this particular chat button, if you are logged as a partner, right, leads to a partner chat. So this is where how you can reach me, Lukáš, Armen, Roman, Sergey, Catherine, all the members of the channel team. So this going directly to our teams, to directly to the channel, and couple guys from our support organization who is supporting partners. So there is might be a way how to get in touch with via chat. We introduced that because some of the partners were asking for some let's say pool chat solution. And that's it. What I wanted to introduce for the little bit of news about the client zone. So I stopped sharing, and I would like to invite Adam to introduce the features and functions of B2B CRM. Adam.
Thank you, Slavek. Thank you for your time and for showing the client zone. Welcome everybody, and let's jump right into what is actually the B2B CRM and why we're actually offering it. So now you should see my screen and the presentation, correct? And so
okay,
B2B,
it's okay.
Perfect, thank you. So what is the story behind the B2B CRM? Well, actually, the B2B CRM is a software that we are actually using for sales activities and then for implementing our projects. So maybe you'll be asking, who is this B2B CRM for? First and foremost, it is for all the B2B companies that are out there. So it could be any kind of vendor selling to I don't know, through his distributors or resellers to the end customer. It can be a service organization, which could be a third party of yours where you can experience their support or their help desk. So these three main entities are the ones that this new B2B CRM is for. And it is the reason why I'm putting emphasis on it is that this is really not a B2C CRM. So what is that? What is the B2B CRM? First of all, it's a platform solution, meaning that we combine the CRM and the project management tools together, meaning that you can take your client by your hand and show him the journey end to end, from the lead through opportunity to the selling point, and after that, having it implemented, where the project management part involves. So this is why the B2B CRM is such a complex platform, and it is a powerful tool to be experienced. And now I would jump into the differences between the old CRM and the new CRM. So in the old CRM, we had 4 entities. First of which was CRM cases. In the CRM cases was an entity underneath, you had millions of custom fields. So you could bend it to whatever use case you wanted. In the new CRM, we have no longer CRM cases, but we have 2 separate entities, and those are leads and opportunities, each of which are full with native fields. You still can add up some custom fields, but the majority of information that is needed are there within the native fields. So that's the first difference. Then we had contacts. And again, underneath the contacts, you had a million of custom fields, which could be vendors, partners, suppliers, distributors, resellers, and whoever. And again, we no longer have this one. We instead have 3 entities, and those are accounts, those are partners, and personal contacts. So accounts, imagine it as a company, as your client. Partners, it's again another company, and personal contacts are those people in these companies. Okay, so personal contacts can either be employees of the account, or those can be consultants that will help you distribute your product. In the old CRM, we also had sales activities. Those are staying with us in the new CRM as well. And we had user targets. Those are staying with us as well. So what is extra? We're having price books and quotes and contracts, meaning that you can have a price book. How to configure it, Slavek will tell you later on the session. So you can have a price book, you can differentiate it by the region. So you can choose a price book specially for North and South America, and of course differentiate the prices. Out of that, you will create a quote that will be created automatically. And out of that, you will create contracts. The contracts are very important for, let's say, any time-based contract, meaning that you can have a warranty, you can have licenses, you can have support. All these things are time-based, and the new B2B CRM has many alerts that will tell you something like, hey, look, this customer ABC will run out of his warranty within 1 month. It would be a great idea to call him, prolong the warranty contract, and move on. So this will very help you within the renewal process. Then we have lead splitter. So let's imagine that you have 5 people in your sales team, and now there are, I don't know, 100 leads coming in. Okay, so you would have to divide them very painfully. With new B2B CRM, you can set up a lead splitter, and it will split accordingly the leads to the particular people. How to set it up, Slavik will show you by the end of this session. And last but not least, the continuous integration, meaning that the new B2B CRM is an open source where you can add up any application which has REST API. So you can have a marketing tool, you can have an invoicing tool, a billing tool, and many other tools which will really help you build a complex platform which will help you to drive the whole process end to end. So now I will stop sharing and I will jump right into the B2B CRM. In case you guys have any questions, please feel free to click in the chat or into Q&A, and we will be happy to share our answers with you. So this is the basic dashboard of the sales representative. For those of you who would like to try out the new B2B CRM, the only thing you have to do is to open up the trial, go to try and other roles, and the ones that are interesting for you are sales representative role and dashboards and a sales director. Currently, I'm on the sales representative. So what do we see here? We see here a cockpit of a sales representative. Each sales representative should have all the important information at one place. So we can see here leads and opportunities for forecasts and pipelines, all the tasks being assigned to me. Also the product alerts, those are coming from the contracts that I mentioned earlier. So I can see what are the ones that expire within 90 days or the ones that are expired. So those are the alerts, not only this way, but I can also set up an alert that will send an email to me with a list of those people. Last but not least, I can see my clients' tickets, because we in the Easy Software believe that you as a sales representative should be the one person for the client, resolving everything for him, so he is as content as possible. Lastly, there is my performance graph, where I can track all my performances according to my plan, monthly, quarterly, yearly. You can basically set it up the way you want. Of course, all these dashboards are fully customizable, so you can play with them however you want. So let's jump into the journey from the lead to the contract. All right, so here I have a company, Cub Holding, and a lady called Hannah Wells. I know that they are located in UK. I know that I'm the account manager, and I know that they are coming from the campaign EMEA Channel Expo 2021. Campaigns are another feature of the new B2B CRM. So basically, you can track from where you got the lead and what is the conversion rate. You can also check what is the start date, end date, what is the currency, how much money you spent, and what is the region that is taking place for this campaign. Here I can also see what are the open leads, opportunities, and disqualified leads, so I can have a perception of like how much money I invested in and how much money I made out of this campaign. So after all being said, I would say that I would call Hannah, let's say on the 13th. I would have an initial call with her, and I would set up a meeting. All right. I would set up a meeting for tomorrow. Okay, so there would be a demo of the new B2B CRM. And I have these things planned. Lastly, let's say that on the 19th, I will send her a proposal, okay? Proposal to be sent, right? So I've done the call and the meeting and proposal sent is in my calendar planned up ahead. So I can check that later and I will show you. So now I called her, we had a meeting, she really liked the software, and now I'm ready to qualify. Before I qualify, there are a couple of things need mentioning. The first thing is that I can assign this lead to an external account manager. Basically, that's a salesperson from my partner that can take care of this lead. For instance, Hannah Wells doesn't speak Czech or English. She speaks, let's say, Spanish, and I'm not the guy who speaks Spanish. So I would, for example, put it to my sales external account manager Rupert, who I know that speaks fluently Spanish, and he would deal with this lead. So I would do it very easily. I can also edit this to a partner or to a specific account. So I've done all the sales activities, and the difference between the old CRM and the new CRM is that in the old CRM, firstly, you had to create an account, create a personal contact, create a lead, and then you would link these together so you have all the connections. Here in the new B2B CRM is the vice versa. So you create a lead with all the information. Most of the time you have just first name, last name, phone, and email. And then you click qualify. And right now, what's gonna happen is that an account, Cub Holding, will be created. I'm gonna be the account manager. A personal contact will be created. So Hannah Wells will be created with all the important information, and opportunity will be created. So I don't have to do anything. This feature is going to save you a lot of time. So now, voila, I have an opportunity. Within this opportunity, I can now create a quote. It is very simple as that. I click on the quote. I put on, let's say, Cub Holding 2021. I choose the currency. I will keep the euro. I will choose the brand that I want to sell. So it's SAP1. I will provide her the newest product version. I will be in the cloud. And let's say that I will set up for 1-year contract starting the end of December. Right. So what happened was that I created a quote, and here I have an empty quote, which needs to be filled with the products, with the items. So I click on the main product, which is the SAP Business One Core. Then they ask for implementation. They want standard SLA. They want an advanced support, and they want a modular community. So now I can choose how many amounts I want to pick. So let's say that there are 50 people in the Cub Holding using the B2B CRM. The implementation will take me 7 man days, and I will have it for 12 months because that's according to what I set up earlier. So I have this done. These are the unit prices. If I want, I can give them, for example, 13% discount on this. And I don't know, 9 discount on here, 6 discount on there. And I can add a rounding item, yeah? So automatically, if you have 0.5 or 0.3 euros or whatever currency. You can add the rounding item, so it is nice full number, right? So now I have everything done. I can check it out if everything is all okay. As far as I'm concerned, it is. So I will just refresh it. And here I have it. Here I have the price. And here I also have all, let's say, the parts of this quote. So I know that for implementation, it will cost 3,430 euros. And for the software and support services, I'm paying this much of money. So what happened is that I came from the from the status opportunity discover to opportunity quotation. One reminder here, be aware that the case probability doesn't change on the way you change the status. It is because we experienced in our career the way that as you move up, let's say, well, move down the sales funnel, the case probability should be higher and higher. But many times it wasn't such a truth. So we do that unevenly, and you have to click your own case probability. So the price is 28,269, and now this is the adjusted value. So of course that I can here put all the sales activities again, what's happening. So I would have a call, I would have an email, maybe I would have another meeting with Hannah Wells, and all these communications and sales activities I would store right here. Here you can also see spend time. This is meant for your pre-sales. So for example, if you would be facing a client who's provisioning the pre-sales for everything sold after that, this is a great way how to do it. So I've created the quote, and now what's gonna happen? I need to put it on the paper, right? So I'm just gonna click generate quote. I will choose my template, and voila. The quote is now created, and I will just change my settings, and I will show you how it looks like. So sorry. Yeah. So now you should see it. So now you should see a quote where I can see that it is for Cub Holding. So this is their name. Here would be their street address and the zip code. I know that they are coming from Great Britain. This is the contact. This is a lovely email. And this is the date when I created it. And this is the financial proposal itself. Now you may be asking, how come? Well, the way it works, maybe Slavik will go more into the detail after this, but just perfectly. It is based on the tokens, and it is based on the ways how the system downloads this information and put it right here. So and then of course it divides it up to this within these settings. Slavik will cover that more thoroughly. So I can see here that this is my software. These are my services that I provide. This is the whole summary total price. And these are my payment terms and general conditions. Please be aware that this template is fully customizable. So you can put your logo, you can put your website, you can put all the information here. You don't have to have like three tables that we have here, but you can have one table or 16 tables, whatever you fancy. You can have not 3 pages, but 15 pages. So it just really depends up to you. So now if we go back to the, go back here, now you should see again the opportunity. So what I've done is that I've sent them the quote. I would be in the negotiation process, and after some of the time negotiating, we would come to the arrangement and to the conditions of the deal itself. So I know that the contract date, I will sign up the papers with them on the 13th of December. My next action will be on the 31st of December. And I also know that they're going to be paying by invoice. You can set up these payment methods however you want. Again, Slavik will cover it more into the detail. Here, before I click on the sold, here again, I can assign this to any kind of external account manager, meaning that if I again refresh it, here I can see that this is that the partner or the external account manager will see this opportunity on his dashboard or her dashboard. So now everything is all ready and set up, and now I'm ready to click on sold. So I sold it, the opportunity is locked. So me as a salesperson, I'm no longer privileged to edit anything in here. The only person who is privileged is the sales admin. And now the question is, what happened? Well, that's quite easy. What happened is that we created one-time contracts and time-based contracts. So the one-time contract is the implementation, because I sold them 7 man-days of implementation. I know for which brand it was, for what kind of product version it was, and how much money they're supposed to be paying. Here, I can also see what is the opportunity connected to this. So I can very easily track all the important data in here. So I have that one, and then I have time-based contracts. So I have the software where I know that I send them this many of licenses. It is connected to this opportunity, and this is the start date and the due date. Again, for this one, you can have a CRM alert, which will then automatically alert you as soon as you, for example, 1 month before it expires. So this was a journey from the lead through opportunity to the contract. In case you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the Q&A, and we will be happy to answer them. So now this is the whole story of the lead to contract, and now let's get back into the dashboards. So remember that I've set up a meeting for tomorrow with Hannah Wells. So I also set up a proposal sent on the 19th. So everything is here nice accordingly. I can see that again on my activities app, where I can see that I made 1 call within the last 7 days. And these activities are to do, meaning that they are planned in the calendar. So I skipped my leads. This tab is basically for tracking your leads as far as the statuses and the sources are concerned. So I have here 4 main statuses that are important for me. So new chasing, waiting, qualified, and disqualified. And here I can have whatever the source I fancy. So for me, it is important to have a e-commerce lead and also a conference lead, because our company does a lot of conferences, and that's why it is important for us. Moving to my opportunities. Here I can see follow-ups, meaning that those are the opportunities in the opportunity discover phase, which I didn't do with them, or they have no sales activity within the last 3 days. So as you can see, I'm a decent sales manager, so everything is taken care of. Here is a forecast for this quarter, so I can see it here. And then I have pending payments. Here is the the sub one cub holding opportunity that I just showed you, and this one is waiting to be paid. And here are my lost opportunities. In the pipeline, you can see that I have some opportunities in the quotation phase and in negotiation phase. And I would be really happy to close them soon as possible. Lastly, here I have my performance graph where I can see monthly how much money I brought to the company. And then I can, for example, compare it to my sales plan. Moving on, there is a tab, My Tasks, where the dynamic tasks are, dynamic filters of tasks are presented, meaning that I can have this task very easily assigned to somebody else. I can change very easily the status. I can change the due date, and all from here. I don't have to go inside and change it inside of the task. And that runs throughout the whole B2B CRM. So lastly, I have my accounts. So I see that I acquired 0 accounts within the last month. I can see that my partner acquired 25 new clients, and that's really good. Then I can see that I have 48 accounts that I haven't contacted within the last 3 months. Well, we in Easy Software believe that to build the rapport and the relationship with your client, you should be in the contact with him at least once 3 months or once 6 months. So you really know what's happening in his environment, and you could really prepare any other sale that will be upcoming. Lastly, I have lost accounts. Thankfully, there are none for this fiscal year. Then I have product sales ratio, so I can tell how many types of product I sold. For this, if you are a sales director, you can have an overview of, for example, how many let's say solution experts you have, or if your team is, let's say, having quite decent ratio, like 50-50 or 40-60, and then adjust it accordingly how you fancy. Now I want to show you iWalmart, which is our go-to account to be shown to our clients. So what we can see here is an account profile where you can see absolutely everything. So here we have a name of this account. Here we have the name of the partner that helped us to get the account. Also account manager, account status, and account level, that's VIP account. And I know that how much money they spent with us historically. Moreover, I have all the people connected to that. So I have John Stone, which is the guy that I was selling my product to, and Steven was the one that that provided me all the support within the implementation and migration of everything. Then if I click on the opportunities tab, here you can see that I can have historically all the opportunities that are connected to this account, and I can go back, check what were the quotes, etc., and what was the communication. Here I have data, so I know that they've been with us 380 days. I know that the revenue that should be coming this year is 57K almost, and last year we've done almost 200K with this client, so they are indeed VIP. Here I have contact and billing data, and on the right I have some data like websites, what is their industry, etc., etc. On the sales activities tab, I can see all the sales activities that have been done with this client. So I can check all the sales activities, which is great in case your current account manager is leaving the company and there is a new manager coming. So it is really easy to hand over this client, and because everything is stored right here. Remember how I said at the beginning that this is a platform and it works perfectly with the PM? Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. So imagine that you just sold an opportunity for 100K, and now you're supposed to implement it. An implementation can be whatever. 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a client of us, and that's a design studio, and they are building furniture for showrooms. So there would be, let's say, implementing some furniture, and they can have a very good perspective of how much money they spend and how much money they actually earned. So in this project, you can see all the information the project should have. So the milestones, stakeholders, WBS, Gantt chart, stakeholders, and as you can see here, it is also connected to the account. So I know perfectly who is involved in this project, and those are all the people that I can reach out to. So I can have, I can have as a sales manager a great overview of what's happening, and if the delivery is up in time, if there are any problems, and if there is anything that I can do for the client. Moving to the second point is the help desk. So within the help desk, you could have a ticket that you as a sales manager can look at, and then internally you can encourage your colleagues to work on them, to help your client so he is happy and he has the proper customer experience. Then we have contracts, and those are the contracts that I've already shown you. So this would be a time-based contract. So here I would have an alert when the software is running out of its expiration date. Then I have relations. Within this one, you can imagine it as a mother company or as a parent company, the iWalmart, and I would say that there is a there is a child company or some daughter company called iWalmart España, for example. And here I now just created a iWalmart España, and I know that its parent account is iWalmart, and this is the sub account for iWalmart, the iWalmart España. I can do that with number of accounts. So if iWalmart is a multinational company, I can really easily create it this way. This also goes for the related opportunities. Then I have a history of everything that happened on the account. So whatever the project, opportunity, any kind of changing in the account manager, I can track everything right here. And this is also a great way within the handover system where you can track all the history. Last but not least, here I have the quote that I created for them. And here I can check if I provided them some discount, if there, what were the conditions. So I can learn from that and then enhance it through another quotation. As you can see, this profile is very account centric. So every time I call my clients, I just open up their account, I just list through everything for 15 minutes, and I'm ready to go and meet them and have all the important information about them, and giving them this feeling that we've been together for ages. On the right side of pane, you can see that I can assign this account to a partner. I can put a new employee, I can add a project, I can add a sub account, and many of things to this account. Honestly, it is very, very easy to use. So that was all for the sales representative profile. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Really, we're here for you. If there are none, I would jump into the sales director profile, and I would go swiftly through that, and then I would give the word to Slavek. So I can see that there are no questions, or not in the chat or in the QA. So I will move on. So now you open a director profile. So what is happening here is that me as a sales director, I need to know what is happening. And since I'm responsible for the whole sales, meaning like making the money for my company, the most important thing is the team performance. So on this Gotch graph, I can check what is the performance of my team. So I can then push them. I can then provide them with guidance or with any tips how to sell more. I guess we all know that it's it's almost the end of the Q4, and we all need to be selling and bringing the money to the company. So this is a very important way of visualizing it. I have a task, then I have recruitment coming. So if there's any guy that is applying for a job in my sales team, here I would see the applicant, and I could reach out to the HR department and really check if this person is interested in working for our company. Then I have some task documentation or messages from the CEO. As I'm a board member, the communication within the board is very important. Then I have the pending payments. As you can see, it's almost $500,000. So I would definitely reach out to all of these account managers and really emphasize that it's almost the end of the Q4. Let's finish it up. Let's bring €500,000 home and have the great bonuses. Lastly, I know what are the forecasts for this quarter. So again, I will reach out to them. I would ask them how it looked like, and if there is anything that we can do to push those numbers into the sold. So now if I go and check the calendar, it's going to be exactly the same as a sales representative. The same goes for my tasks and the dynamic filters. But now let's check a more important dashboard for the sales director. So on the right side of pane, I can see all my sales representatives, and I can see that Rupert is really making the numbers, and he is almost having like he reached out to the month plan, quarter plan, and now he's attacking his year plan. So I would definitely encourage him to do so. On the left here, I can see the forecast brutto and netto. So if you remember on the opportunity where I set up the case probability for 50%, what I was actually doing is setting up a netto forecast for this opportunity, meaning that my brutto opportunity value was around 29,000, and my netto was around 15,000. So again, as a sales director, I can see, let's say, the differences in the numbers, and I can really reflect on them. So I saw that Rupert was very successful this quarter. So let's see how he actually did. So he's done pretty well. In October, he almost reached his plan of 80K. Here he overreached it, and in December he overreached it many times. Thankfully, he has no pending payments. There are some opportunities in his forecast. That's great. For that, he has done 11 sales activities. So he's done many calls, emails, meetings, and he also sent some proposals. And I can see that within this quarter, he acquired 10 new clients in respect of almost 300K. The acquisition success rate was 100% from leads to opportunity, and he lost, let's say, 1/5 of the opportunities that he converted from the leads. Then I can see that he has 74 active accounts. So maybe this huge number is due to the renewals, for example. And here I have how many tasks he has. And then I can, let's say, follow up on that and work with all the information being provided on this dashboard. Last but not least, I have data control. So through this global filter, I can again set up a Rupert as the one that I want to check. So I see that, like, terribly, I was being so nice about Rupert so far, but terribly has 27 opportunities without contract date. Let me just remind you that if you don't have a contract date within your opportunity, it won't be seen in your forecast. Even if you have a very decent numbers here in the prices. Here I can see that he also has some tasks without the due date, so I may ask him to fix that. He has 74 accounts, out of 62 has no industry. I think that selling by industry is very important. So I can then, for example, change up the campaigns and target more industry specific clients, and then have sell even more. Lastly, I would see that there are 13 leads that he didn't take care of. So again, I would work with these numbers, and I would check up with him, for example, within 1 week or 2 weeks, if there are like 0 leads or 0 no industry input accounts, etc. So that was everything from my side. In case you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I can see that there is one question from Sarah, which is one-time versus time-based contract. Is that a contract category?
I will cover that. I will cover that in settings because there is a particular place where you set it up and there is certain logic behind. So yeah, I will cover that.
Perfect.
In the configuration part.
So thank you for your attention, and Slavek, the floor is yours.
Right. Before I start configuration, I would like to give you my personal summary and my personal feelings about this new product, because a lot of these things has something to do with how we do business, and there is many reasons why we do so. If I look back on the old CRM and the new CRM, or on the old CRM or on the old platform, what was a little bit sad is that the thing that we have some business information in the same system where we have help desk functionality for tickets and managing projects, they were in the same platform, but actually it were still siloed, right? Even in our operations, we didn't have tasks clearly associated with some clients. So there were no ability to look back and look at the cost of service, for example, which is now pretty obvious. You saw it in Adam's presentation. And this is what changed a lot with B2B CRM. And we see a lot of other things which we can improve, right? And with V11 Plus and with B2B CRM, we believe we made a tremendous step in terms of power of the platform. I think a lot of what's said by Adam are typically showing this account, but let me share a couple of things which you saw and summarize. You saw that account manager can see actually tickets of his clients, right? Because support operations now support very easily to assign the ticket to a client. That's the first step they do. So the support needs to understand also, for example, what kind of services they've purchased. So what priority maybe the ticket takes, right? And the sales guy is not blind when somebody calls him and saying, listen, I'm dissatisfied, and he has no clue what's happening somewhere in support. In our system, he has it just on the first page in the case you saw it. On the sales directory, you saw a recruitment task. Yes, at Easy Software and more of our clients, for example, use issue tracking to follow the process of recruitment. And nowadays, recruitment is very, very time-sensitive discipline, and so manager may see on his very first page what is coming from recruitment. Another thing from our experience, for example, if we sell implementation and our consultant teams runs the project, the very last task in the project template is report back to sales. So he just report back to sales at the account manager on the account. Again, they clearly have everything connected. They know who is the account manager and all the business data. They pass it back, and again, the account manager see it among his tasks, and for example, is doing the check that the onboarding is from the client perspective okay. We solve, thanks to these features, for example, situations where one customer is predominantly handled by implementation team because they are in implementation phase. Still, some other people are opening up the tickets, and it was making a little bit of mess because it's different teams, different people, and maybe they were not aligned about where the implementation is or why is this happening. So again, thanks to these things that projects, tasks, and other things are related directly to a client, brings really a lot of internal efficiency, really using the platform. And this is one thing which I love about introducing B2B CRM, because we changed the whole story of using easy project management to a possibility to use really client-centric project management, right? But I don't have projects called like client, which I see on all the implementations. they are called as a client, but nothing connects one project with the other. It's just named somewhere in the project tree. So this is one thing which is tremendous. Second thing is a lot about what Adam was sold. We added a lot of features. The features were focused on partner management. Those of you knowing all CRM, we had unclear relations between, parent contact or related contact, and you can decide whatever it means, right? And here, partner is partner business is partner. I can report on that. I can do everything. I can manage people at partners. I can manage the onboarding and a lot of other stuff. And so we brought a lot of features which make it, I would say nowadays, rather adult CRM. Right. So one more question arrived in the meantime from Marcos. Hi, Marcos. How we could generate the Word doc with the proposal like you have shared and how to customize its template? Good question. I will cover it in following hour when I will explain configuration. We will be exactly showing how this works. Right. So let me get started. Now, first, I will be proceeding according to this document which is being shared. Adam, please confirm that I am sharing.
Yes, you are sharing.
All right, and kindly asking you if you can share this document in the chat together also with the Excel spreadsheet, the other one.
Yes,
if it is
I will
possible.
do that.
Thank you very much for that. Right. First, what we have to say that we haven't managed to put all the configurations related to CRM on one place. We plan it. However, we were forced to, prioritize, and this thing was not done. That's why this simple document is serving. It actually serves especially to show you where it was. It's not like implementation manual. It's really quick reference sheet about where is being said what. It's actually 7 different places, as you can see. Not happy about that, but that's how it is. And let me guide you through that. Let me start some demo. Okay, I have demo here, and I am directly in categories. You know that categories is a standard thing in our system, and there are plenty new categories which are here and related to the entities in CRM. That's because the nativization of account and nativization of opportunity and other and standardize the leads and all other entities just needs such enumerations. So let's go step by step. First, sales activity category. Here I can set up the categories. This feature was present in old CRM, works pretty much the same. I will not be busy with that right now. Account status and account level. We had different things, the old contact types and contact, it was difficult. Anyway, still we can have different type of accounts, but there is one which represents the client. And for those, you can have typically statuses. It's very common in CRM. It's describing actually the state of the organization, whether it's your prospect, it's your client or former client or different. Typically, you can see while help desk operators have this information, can be valuable. Account level typically works for segmentation of your client portfolio. Again, very common feature in CRM systems. There is an enumeration to put into the process if you want to collect information why the customer left. The industry is productized, so industry is native field, and here is where you can fill it. As you can see, I'm using now the demo data, so also default data, right? So this is what we distribute this list together with the system. Opportunity payment method. it's related to opportunity, and usage of this field is not really needed, but it may serve for some continuous integrations if you connect some fulfillment and payment methods to the contracts. Then there is couple fields related to price book, and so quotes, and so contracts. This whole thing is interconnected, because I have certain products in certain price books set. Thanks to, based on these records, I'm creating quotes. So again, even the quotes still contain this information, whether this is cloud server or if it is brand this or that. And so the final contract, which shall serve for the delivery, is having this information, and this is interconnected. So what we have here, we have brand, typically in this is related to price book. Product can be also related typically to price books, because sometimes pricing policy changing from version to version. Product category, and this is important. This is important to show you. If you go CRM and you go to contract subsystem and contract subsystem, you see I have here 3 types of contracts, and that's what this is, right? If I look on, let's say, software, I can give the contract name, right? How it will appear here. Let me see if it works. Yeah, you can see it here. Now I'm, yeah, here. And here I am selecting whether this is time-based contract, one-time contract, or I don't need to create contract for it at all. And there is certain so also this is a place where we actually expect that some clients, for the very specific business case, may want to develop some specific logic, how their specific contracts shall be made. For example, what information they contain, etc. And this is one of the places where we actually count, and it is designed that actually new logic can come in. Because what is the logic? Is that if you have time-based contracts, sometimes you need to change the contract during the time, but it's not new deal, it's just changing the new deal. So for example, in terms of online application, we need to make sure that we actualize in the mid of the period the contract which is there, we are not creating new ones. So there can be a lot of things behind that. And here the system that basically goes these two, and there is a little bit different logic of upselling typically, or one-time contract doesn't have duration. If you look on some little detail, it will be more clear when I show you that in price book. No, this is not CRM, not CRM, not CRM. CRM solution, important one. Another thing, how you can categorize all the things in product and price books, and distinguish then, for example, type of the fulfillments at the end of the contract. New B2B CRM has campaigns. We have at least here some statuses of campaigns, which can help for some filtering and so on and so forth. We have here three enumerations for leads, for the priority. I think it's clear. Source, typically marketers like to understand the sources of the leads, same as they like to understand what company it's coming from. And with leads, there is a lead statuses, similar to, let's say, CRM case, or nowadays opportunity stages. So this is the stages before you convert lead to opportunity. Interesting thing here to mention, if you look, here are states, and for example, if you choose the disqualified state, it means that then in lead, let me open some lead and disqualify it. Let me go CRM, leads, data. So here I got to the data. I can disqualify, and it is actually proposing me these three statuses which are set in the categories as disqualified reasons, and through that I can actually say that I'm disqualifying because this is duplicate to another one. Where I was in categories. So this is about lead status. And for partners, typically I need to segment my partners. So there's a way how to segment the partners in the enumeration. Right, so this is step number one. And obviously, there is a need to discuss with client, do the consultation, and bring the settings. Second place where you can find CRM settings is the old place, the CRM in admins. Here is the old school thing where you set up the opportunity statuses. Previously it was CRM case statuses, but here I want to just notice one new thing or two new things. First, we edit stage only for admin. So typically some, let's say, stages are not to be used by sales guys, but typically, for example, by automat, who is, for example, confirming that something is paid, or other stages which shall not be put there manually because it represents something. And second is here is provision. Because you can set, for example, if you say, okay, I'm closing the deal, what is the status represents whether I'm provisioning or not. So meaning I'm waiting for payment or provisioning before the payment, and so on and so forth. So is provision important new thing to be used. Right. Sorry. User targets, they work the same way they used to work. I will not really be busy with that. In the trial, we are using this typically to display these gouge diagrams or gouge graphs on the sales reps homepages. Kanban view settings. We will delete this stuff now because we haven't managed to productize any Kanban view. I'm a little bit sad about that. Kanban views are quite popular nowadays in CRM, and simply this is not available right now. In others, it's important just to say you shall have here your CRM items switched on. Otherwise, all the things with price books will not work. And it's just about that, for example, the salespeople just filling the price, and that's it. It's just evidence, and it's not like, there's no quote making thing. Once we are done with this, we shall move to plugin configuration. All right. Another place. So I go plugins. It's long, so let me search B2B. Not here, not here. Here it is. So here is some configuration bringing additional logic. Typically, when they are connecting opportunities and accounts, They said that account type is account. The account type doesn't work really. It doesn't make much sense anymore, but it's still there. What makes sense is then opportunity CRM type. Well, it's not right description, but typically this is saying what is the status to which you select after qualification of the lead, right? So as from the lead, as you now know that you create account, personal contact, opportunity, that the account has some type and opportunity has some status. Same thing, there is a sold button, so the final confirmation of the business and what actually status it shall be moved on and locked. So we have here sold, and with that you see, I mean, I can make the difference whether I provision or not just based on, you know, using the right status and its configuration, as I showed you just a while ago. Another thing which is there, you may remember that accounts and all CRM cases had a possibility to group some custom fields. The feature is still there. You can see it, I think you can even see it in demo data, but you can make some group of custom fields you like a sales guy to fill in while qualifying a lead. So if I would have some category and I would go, I would do this, then I think if I take some lead and try to qualify, so this is probably qualified already. Now, why is something what works? Qualify. And probably there are no custom fields, right, in the group. So here will appear also the custom fields which we are asking sales people to fill in through that. Default campaign project, that's because leads or accounts, they are not project related, but opportunities are. And so campaigns, it's always have to be related to some project, and after qualification of the lead, the opportunity is stored in under this project. The whole usage of different projects in CRM will be addressed a little bit later. We distinguish personal contacts, the people contacts, based on whether this is related to our to account or to partner. And so there is just the setting to say, I mean, what names is what. And the reason for that is simple. We found out that, for example, we are using personal context, people context related to partner to manage pipeline of all the onboarding, whether they candidates for training, on the training, doing shadowing, etc. And all of these custom fields which we are using to manage this process would pollute, I mean, the personal context for clients of accounts, right? Because there I need to know things which are important for business, right? And these are my partners, which I have completely different needs. So we differentiate those. New touch status, okay. The system allows to identify that some leads is not unique, but it's another touch from the same person. If it is identified, so it's not making the lead in default status, but in this one, just to visualize that it's another touch from the same person, probably not, and it means it's not a unique lead. Typical things marketers are solving, you know, uniqueness of leads. And default industry on accounts. It's typically serving for some integrations where different systems may need to set up some new account in your system, but doesn't know the industry. So typically this one is used. Third point of configuration, configuration on plugin level. Again, keep asking. I may answer if it is related to what I say, what I'm saying. What's next? Project configuration. Okay, even from the old CRM, you know that the data are stored somewhere in your project tree. We recommend to make a project tree. Many clients maybe just need just one project where all the data will be, but the project tree can be nicely used, especially in larger organization where one thing is privileges and second thing is what data they see, right? I have personal experience where companies just didn't allow that somebody from EMEA region may see data of North American sales team. Even they have same privileges, but not to the same data, right? And this is the way how these most critical data, typically opportunities, are accessed only through the added privileges and memberships on the projects. I saw a couple of implementation even in all CRM using that quite heavily. Another thing which worth mentioning on the project configuration, where the data goes, also shall be this UCRM ATIS switched on, because this has a central configuration, but also per project configuration. It's coming from the old logic, and you can see additionally you can limit some visibility of opportunity. So that's on project level. What's next? Roles, permissions, user types. All right. This is known area. Basically, I assume that everyone here is knowing how the user types and roles and permissions works. So I will be just noticing what is new and what appeared in the system thanks to the B2B CRM. At the same time, I want to mention that definitely salespeople shall have different menu and different home pages to, let's say, regular users of project management. And that's what we are showing in the demo data to show how that can eventually look like. So definitely that means definitely making for salespeople specific user type, and also then work with the roles and permissions. Looking at roles and permissions, now this one is some external role. Let's say this one. What's new here? For some reason, I don't see that everything. Why that one thing is hiding? Let me give me a second. Now it holds. Right. Good. Here it is. I don't know now what is doing this to me, but whatever. What is new? Accounts visibility. Again, accounts as a global visibility, basically. What we are able to here to limit to that when I'm author or assignee. Now, the assignee also apply not only to account manager, but also to this external account manager. You may notice that you saw now external account manager on all business related entities, lead, opportunity, account. And it allows, let's say, give visibility to your resellers and let them into your system. Very powerful, very powerful. I'm doing channel for many years, and really a lot of that is constantly passing information there and back about leads, forecasts, statuses of business, whatever. Here you can collaborate with your reseller network within your CRM. Very powerful. Opportunities visibility. Standard is I see what I see through projects, and I can further limit it. Typically, for example, for this external people, external account managers. Blah blah blah. Leads visibility. Leads manageability, and partner entity visibility. This I can set up here in details, and it goes on with some global permissions. There are some traditional permissions for accounts and opportunities, which works pretty much the same. Also general about leads. And some of those may continue in project on project level typically, but it just relates to opportunities. It can be project related. So this is a couple new settings which came to the roles and permissions. Important thing. What's next? Price book. All right. So price book. Some of you know the price book from the past. We had this functionality in our system for more than a couple of years now, but it was used only internally, and in very, very, very special cases, we were implementing that to clients. What B2B CRM changes is one of the things is that all this functionality is in generally available. It's part of the CRM, new B2B CRM. And all these things can get as complicated as the, let's say, product portfolio or licensing policy of the client. So let me explain generally how it works. Basically, it works with two entities, products and price books. The price is basically set on the connection between the product and the price book to which it is assigned. So basically the product price book connection, that is the price, right? And how you can handle that when you have a product, you add the product to price book, then that's how it appears on the product page here. And in this price book, I can start adding, the prices and what units is there, etc. I can, make the actual records. The product, now important, has the category. If you remember from the configuration, I have a product category. So I may have on one quote, and in one time, I can have a number of, let's say in our case, number of software items, right? And all these items will be taken to the software contract, because I have this product category software, right? And something happens with that. Sharing our case, if you make a software contract, we confirm software contract easy. It looks whether it is solution, the continuous integration takes in consideration whether the solution is cloud or server, and it provisions the cloud automatically. For example, we have a full automated things. If I update some contract, right, in the CRM, it's going to be automatically reprovisioned, right? So that's the example of the continuous integration, where contracts is the integration entity, which the center of truth of your delivery, right? And if I have some services over there, I have different product category for that. and it creates different type of contract which may be called by my service organization or similar. Right. So I can create a product, assign the product to price books, and then set up the prices. On the price book, sorry. If I open some price book, then I can also see that some price book might be limited only to certain projects. There is various reasons there. Could be some usage for that. There is a brand, and I can set a product version for the price book. That all may help me if I am when I am creating quote on the opportunity, right? I am selecting some brand, I am selecting solution, etc. So then when I am making a quote, right, it typically provides me only those price books which are relevant, and only to product items which are relevant, for example, to what I've selected. So it can help to keep the consistency of the data. Another thing which is here on price book level, it is possibility to create bundles. Bundle means that by bundle means that, for example, okay, let me show you. You know, Easy Redmine and Easy Project, right? So I will show you our price book here. Take the V11 ones. And here I have a couple bundles when I'm bundling the products. And here I have the Easy Redmine Business Platform Essentials. In Essentials, actually, I have just 2 products or 3 products which are listed as separate products in my price book: scheduler, timesheets, and big product Easy Redmine V11. And I have a prices here for the bundle, and I have different weight, so I can still am able to report till the last penny how much money I am making on timesheets or scheduler if I sell this bundle with whatever discount. It can calculate it to the last penny. And if you look on, for example, business, yeah, the story is a little bit different, because business is constituted from many products. And again, I am able to add weight, and I am putting here the prices. So this way you can, for example, use the bundles for some special offers, etc. Those of you remembering our Easy Redmine, I'm sorry, I have to go back here to the price books in the trial. Those of you remember Easy Redmine pricing policy, where we were bundling different, products or modules, or if you are plugins, we have this help desk bundle, agile bundle, strategic bundle, and whatever. And we change that all the time. And then we had this 25, 50, and 100 packages, and there was no linearity at all. It was really difficult pricing policy for any type of evidence or understanding where I'm making money. And we were able to do it with this price book. So I'm pretty convinced that quite even a difficult pricing policies or product structure can be made the way that the convenient way of making quotes and proposals and evidence about my delivery can be made in our price book system. So always, where I'm talking product category, it relates to the price book. So it relates to that, how I create the quote, and then it provides the information which is needed to my final evidence, which is contracts, which serves for the integration. Another thing which is here on the price book setting is here I am putting the template, right? So this template will be available for all opportunities, on these contracts. And now I can show you how this looks like. This is actually the template itself, and as you can see, it's a regular Microsoft docx file. And this is it. This is it. This is that simple. It's a regular Microsoft Office docx files. It's XML document which uses tokens, right? I have token here, I have token here's, I have token here's, I have token here's. I'm actually able to use tokens from the account, from the partner, if there is related partner, from the opportunity itself, from its items on the quotes, from the user who is account manager to this deal, and I don't know what more. Actually, Adam shared with you Excel spreadsheet where it's listing all these tokens, and so anyone who can understand the tokens, and it's not difficult to them to understand, they are explained in the Excel, but even the names are pretty much usually self-explaining, can do that. And do you remember how we are setting different product types, right? Which are, for the quotes, prices, blah, blah, blah. I told that many times. It appears also here, right? If I would like, let's say, structure the items in my quotes, like I have it here to separate my software items and the services, because, for example, I don't count services into TCO. It can be done here. This is the only trick. If you go to table properties, alternate text, and there is this. This is saying to this table, you shall add items of software as a product category. And in this one, as you can see, there are more. Table properties.
Like just one thing.
And here you are adding implementation services and support services. Yes, Adam.
Yeah, Sarah has a question of something I missed. Use CRM items is now to say allow quote and quote items generation. Should it be enabled?
Honestly, once again.
Well, you can see it in the QA. Honestly, Sarah, I'm not sure that I actually understand the question.
Sarah, maybe you share is now to say allow quote. Yes, Sarah, you're right. This setting about using CRM items shall be switched on to work with price books, and it can be on two places: the CRM tab in administration, and eventually even on the project, right? But the default is on. So it shall be okay during the implementation. The default is on. So if it is not answered and it needs to be explained verbally, no issues. Just raise your hand, and Adam can make you panelist, so you are allowed to discuss. So yes, this shall be on. All right, I think that the quote generator is pretty straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. And actually, I like that it's allowing, really, I mean, the sales leaders can tune up the quotes and start using them immediately, right? I mean, it's powerful. And typically, if I, for example, doing some reviews about the features and functions of some other CRM, this particular functionality is typically in the highest versions. Price book. All right. Another thing which needs attention, and it's maybe a good source for some implementation revenues. The last thing on the list was the lead splitter. Why lead splitter? What it is? You can create tasks manually. Sorry, you can create leads manually. I don't know. You go to exhibition or on some, let's say, trade show, collecting business cards. Typically, business cards represent leads. So you enter the system to the lead. You're watching that the campaign is this particular expo. So you can find out later whether it was actually successful in terms of business generation or not. And it's just fine. But there are many organizations out there which has some strong digital presence and different activities on the web page may result to that sales shall know about that. So they have some like digital leads. I mean, in our case, it is when somebody fills the form on the web or somebody set up a trial or similar, right? And there are different web technologies allowing that, and different marketing automation tools, processing and analyzing the activity of different people on the website, etc. But at the end, if some conversion, digital conversion or whatever happens, may generate a lead which shall be taken to these hands of some first touch team or sales in general. And for companies having a lot of digital leads, we have this feature, lead splitter, which works pretty straightforward. It's basically the system has a data endpoint where this marketing automation can send some data and create the lead. The lead created this way has a hidden attribute that is processed equals no, and waits to be processed by the lead splitter. And the lead splitter, what it does is that, I mean, you can do a lot of filtering here on this side, for example, saying that if it is coming from Afghanistan, I want to, let's say, give priority high or assign to specific person. So I can do the, let's say, filters here, saying what's happened, what kind of data I received, to organize data, similar like sorting, making some, how's called this mail filtering, something similar, right? You have an email client. So I can make some filters here to identify that this leak is particularly something and set up different actions, right? Add it to account manager, add it to external account manager, set the priority, set the campaigns, and so on and so forth. So in practice then, let me show you our lead splitter. You can really imagine. In practice, it can look like that you have, many filters because you have a number of campaigns. And for example, we are launching first B2B campaign, right? We want to launch them tomorrow. So what I'm doing is that I know that if somebody is on the landing page, the lead comes to my system with some identifier, and I know that this shows this trial. So as this trial, I'm making priority normal, put it to the right campaign, and put it Adam as an account manager, right? And so now I have because I want to observe this separately under the specific campaigns. Or we are having now this improved affiliate program, where simply you as a partners get our get some ID or some identifier, affiliate identifier. And so if you have some information on your web page and comes to ours, I have the data on lead, and I can say, okay, this is a partner of Lukasz. I will assign it to Lukasz. And maybe if somebody from this partner is working with us in our CRM, I would be able to add them as external account manager. And with that, I'm able to make a lot of filters, allowing me to prioritize and deliver the leads to the right hands. Interesting thing, which makes sense for companies receiving a lot of digital leads and recognize that time is essential in their business, and it shall be fast. So that was the lead splitter. And that's basically it. If we talk about really just the point of different points of different configuration. Before I will start talking about different aspects of implementing CRM, I would like to give a space to questions. All right.
Maybe Slavek, we've done just such a great job that everybody knows everything. That's also possible.
Most probably you're right. Sarah, you may answer this later, but was wondering about the data migration. Yeah, this is actually what's coming next. That's what's coming next. All right. So let's go and answer this question in the last, let's say, topic of today. What I'm sharing. Let me share. Are different. I will just stop sharing this because it can lead you somewhere else. Number one, if we talk implementation of the fresh new client, the system is ready for that. It works with the given features, and it can be implemented. What is typically need to be done in every CRM implementation is that clients have their data they like to import. It's actually great. I can announce you that I think 10th of January, the update, some smaller update will be released, and this application will have extended this functionality, you may know, for the data import. So here in advanced import, you will have not only stakeholders, which came with V11, and this is old account, right? Import, but there will be import for accounts, opportunities, leads, partners. Is that sales activity, Adam?
No, sales activities not yet. Currently, we're just having accounts, leads, opportunities, and contacts.
The partners too, no?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So the system will be ready to import. So that's about the new implementation. So I would say that starting January 10th, with the new importer, you shall have tools in hands in order to implement new clients. Old clients with the old CRM, a tough story. Tough story, because B2B CRM is not a really direct successor of the old CRM, and there is no migration tool. Why is that? Uh, it's because the old CRM was the old CRM. We all knew that, right? That account is bench of custom fields, right? That the relation between some opportunity and some account is not clear what it means always, and contact to contact is not clear what it means partner, what it means what, and and it was really so much dependent on individual configuration, individual settings of custom fields, and how different, connections are represented. It doesn't allow us to make clear upgrade, right? Because contacts and personal contacts has completely different values, and in the old system it can mean whatever, maybe cannot be distinguished. It's a mess. We really analyze that, and the variety of what can be as the source, the old CRM, really didn't allow us to make some tool which we can use and be confident about it. So basically, the bad news is that you cannot upgrade from old CRM to new CRM. You actually have to re-implement it. What it means practically, when scheduled upgrade to V11, you shall have typically discussed with the client, typically using some trial, what are the different settings. You shall have prepared new dashboards and home pages, because the old ones will not work for sure. They will not work. So you prepare it separately, and you may test data import, and then in certain point of time when you start implementing, you just export all the entities, do the upgrade, and set the CRM from the beginning. And once you have the categories and other set, so you can reference, you can import the data accordingly. You run the data import. So typically you need at least 1 day agreed maintenance window on the CRM, where actually the old one will be vanished, and the new one needs to be set from the scratch and data imported. It's not super easy. It's not super easy, but honestly, we haven't come with anything better, because all the tools which may do the conversions rather automatically, just simply where every customer was a corner case, every client was a corner case. So it is there. And good news is that you can say that you need to sell a lot of implementation services, which is truth, because as you can see, typically CRM system take a lot of implementation, because there's a lot of discussion about the sales process, sales funnels, etc., and need to be configured. And now it needs to be also, like this, let's say, manually export and import it. That's how we going to upgrade all clients. And with saying that, and totally understanding that, for example, you would not like to be alone when you do it for the first time. We have here people who are not dedicated, but they are gathering the expertise around the B2B CRM, import tool, etc. And we are really to cover you. But we need to know, it needs to be planned. We shall sell the services, etc., etc., etc. So I don't know if Sarah is happy, but I think I covered the data migration point. I would maybe like really to invite everyone to raise hand and be connected with voice, or send another questions to QA, so we can cover potential questions or discuss other things. Right. If there is no actual question, I would, and there is just a couple of us. Maybe I would like to ask you if you can write us a little bit of feedback to, I don't know if chat is available, or write it to Q&A, doesn't matter. Some feedback about what do you think about this session, or what do you think about B2B CRM? It would be really nice to hear at the end of the session what you guys think.
And of course, in case you want to, let's say, rewind all the information, we will provide you definitely with the recording of the session, so you can always come back to it and have it checked.
Indeed. About CRM also, I would like to mention that I have to say I forgot properly introduce Adam at the beginning of this session. Adam is expert for CRM. He's combined sales, pre-sales, implementation person who is really focused only on CRM. So he can be a center, or he can be a point of contact for CRM questions for you. And yeah, that's important contact for Adam. And we have like 2 other people in consulting who are busy with CRM deployments.
Thank you, Sarah, for very kind feedback. We really appreciate it.
Sarah, thank you very much for your feedback. Yeah, nice to hear that. Nice to hear that. And with that, I think we can finish. We made it on time. I'm really grateful that you, ladies and gentlemen, attended this session today. Wish you all nice Christmas. I think this is the last seminar for partners this year. So if you don't need each other, I wish you a great Christmas time, and stay with us. Thank you.
Have a great day and see you next time. Bye-bye.